I'm Amelia Fox, and I'm with the Mississippi State University Precision Agriculture Program in the College of Ag and Life Sciences here at Dorman Hall, one of the older buildings on campus. And we are housed in the agronomy program. So I'd like to share with you all that we do inside and some of the tools and fun things we teach students. Come on with me. Dear Dr. Dorman, who the hall is named after, he has the acclaim of having worked himself to death at a very young age. Clarence Dorman. He died at a very young, 45 years old, but we honor him in this building. We love him. This is the Precision Ag Wing. Do you know what Precision Ag is? Precision Ag is computer-based technologies that are used to make better decisions in farming. And we have a lot of different things happening in the Precision program. Well, I originally come from Washington State, but I have lived in Wisconsin and Illinois, and I came here in 2011 for the Gulf oil spill. I was called in to work on the Gulf oil spill because I had a special set of skills that could be used to analyze problems in the Gulf. And I was working on that for about a year and a half, and then switched over to the agronomy department to get a PhD because I knew that these airplanes and the sensors that can be carried on the airplanes are going to be critical in changing our ideas and understanding about agriculture. So it's been a real long haul. My degrees I have 5 college degrees actually, but they basically are in geographic information systems, and that's any computer-based mapping technology that can be used to make decisions, and of course my decisions are made in agriculture. So I teach that, I practice it. I was passionate about it because I learned it from my family. My father used those skills and taught them to my oldest brother, and then he taught 3 other siblings how to do those mapping skills. So my passions come from just family teaching me. And then other friends taught me to fly. It's just been a long haul. Well, it's called Plant and Soil Sciences. So Jack Barco, our esteemed emeritus faculty, says the soil is the hospital and the plant is the patient. And all of us can appreciate that without soils, good soils, without good atmospheric conditions, adequate sunlight, and proper nutrition, plants don't grow and people don't eat without plants. My emphasis is in the geographic information side, or the GIS, and flight in particular, but also remote sensing, how we can look at the world without touching it and make decisions. How do we decide how much nutrition a crop needs or whatever? It's the students and the people first. The chair of our department has made it possible for us to specialize or do that which we do well, and he's really been supportive. But in general, the people all in this department have so many fantastic skills, broad-based, wise individuals that can use their skills in lots of different ways. And then to see the students get it, to see them come from ignorance to knowledge is the biggest paycheck you can get, for me. More than writing research articles or doing things that get awards and accolades. My payday at the end of the day is a student asking me, I wish somebody would have taught me this sooner. Or, aha, I get it. And then enlightenment. That's the biggest reward of any reward ever given in this job, is to see the students get it. Well, again, it's definitely how to produce working curriculum that in an emerging technology where little or no curriculum exists. You could go to any industry today that in precision ag and you could say, well, what do you want me to teach my students? And they'll say, well, teach them to do it this way. And every different agricultural industry is going to do it a little bit different. What we look for is gold standards. We look for standard activities and training tools that we can teach the students the very general idea, and then whatever company they go to, they can have good practices when they get there, and they can be trained easily on specific software or specific equipment. So we basically try to find the gold standard that doesn't truly exist in a curriculum. There's no textbooks that unless we write them. We make those gold standards, and we engage industry to help us do that. And then we hope we send them back out the door with enough tools that they can do really good work. We're always developing new coursework. Always. It never ends because time marches on and technology emerges. So in the back of my office are autonomous tractors. So as soon as we get done teaching them these autonomous drones and how to build them, we need to teach them how to program an autonomous tractor. It never stops. We wake up the next day and go, we have something new we have to teach. And so it becomes a research mentality, looking at a problem, thinking of the possible solutions. That's that thought experiment. What are the possible solutions? And then trying to find the best solution, and then figuring out how to teach it really fast. And so teaching becomes research in that way. And we document it by writing a textbook on it and saying, this is the standard by which we set our activities and how we act. It's a little different than some of the researchers and inventors you're going to meet. When it's student-focused, student-centric, it's different than if it's an industry tool or something we can sell on the market. We can't sell the students. We have to sell the idea to the students and then let them go take it and make something of it. So I met a barista, a coffee person. Barista, I don't know how male, female. This individual had an auditory processing disorder and short-term memory loss. Now imagine trying to take a coffee order, and mine is not a simple cup of coffee, it's pretty complicated. Imagine trying to do that with an auditory processing disorder and a short-term memory loss or disability. It's really hard. And so I watched this individual work really hard to try to make the cup of coffee. Had to give a big tip because they tried so hard. And I realized there was a training problem there. That this individual was being forced to do a job without the tools they needed to understand the job. And so immediately I sat down and said, if I were going to train that individual, here's what I would do. We call this teaching modalities. And I would say that because of COVID and the students having to go online or offline, back and forth, the confusion that's happening, I'm spending a lot of time working on new teaching modalities. All of my classes were restructured over the Christmas holiday to help guide students that are feeling really confused about how to learn. So teaching modalities right now is my key point of interest, and when I met the barista that was having trouble, I thought, nope, I'm in the right business. This is the right place to go. My most notable accomplishment in all of this is not a machine or an aircraft or I'm very proud that I've started writing textbooks with students. So students now co-author with me and they copyright with me at a national level. I find students who really are committed and want to be a part of a long-term documenting of how we do these really good things. That's very important. But I think the thing I would like to be most noted for, or the accomplishment that I think is most notable, besides having outlived virtually everybody who said I would never amount to anything, that's pretty notable. I think that the notable accomplishments are still the ability to be flexible inside of a very transient system. Emerging technologies are really hard to grasp. And they don't get taught when they're emerging. They get taught long after they're standardized. But this department, this university has seen in their wisdom the need to make room for emerging technologies. And sometimes we fall flat in our face teaching them, but we do our best. They let us get back up again, and we try and try again. Well, like I said, we draw industry in. We really do draw industry in. We hope that they'll participate with us and guide us in what they think is important. Most importantly, my research will affect the outside world through the students, not me. It won't be me at the end of the day. It's the students that go out the door and change the world. That's what we really need to do. One person cannot change anything. But if one person can change 50 students a semester, then those 50 students can do something outside. And that's critically important. All we can do is just try to collaborate and try to do what we think is the right thing. Ultimately, it's up to the students to make the change.
Definitely the people. From the research office down, overhead down, from the research office, there's several different research can come from several different angles. The staff and administration do everything in their power to help us succeed at research. They do. They'll just bend over backwards to be helpful to us. So getting grants and getting money has never been my issue. It's the collaborators that will come on board and give you a leg up and give you ideas and shoot the moon with you and help you get to where you need to go. But it's a family. There's a family atmosphere here. Family first, they say it all the time, family first. So I get to go home at the end of the day, and even though it's exhausting and tiring, I get to go home and be satisfied that I did my best, and I sleep well on that. Just don't sleep enough.